Hi there, it's Dermot again, and just going to continue with the series of talks I'm doing for people in recovery. And today I'm just going to look at letting go and what letting go is. So it's how to free yourself from yourself. And if you're familiar with the 12 steps of recovery, you'll know that steps 2 and 3 are all about letting go and handing over. So just to introduce this, so what is meant by letting go? What are emotions? Resistance? 5-second rule? Self-defeat to self-enhancement, embracing the positive, letting go of the negative, and then just summarizing it up for you. So, what is meant by letting go? A, handing over. So, handing something over, that's letting go. You know, in the sense of recovery, it's saying, well, I can't, but you can, so I'm going to let you. Releasing, again, letting go of something that you're holding on to that's not working, so releasing it. Look at it in that context. Surrendering is the big one. I'm surrendering my problems over. I'm surrendering my difficulties over to you, to the group, to whoever to help me. So it's asking for help in that sense. And acceptance. So it's acceptance of who you are, what you become, what you have, etc. So if you're in addiction, it's acceptance of that addiction for what it is and how it's affected you. Belief, and that's belief in yourself and also belief in whatever it is you choose to believe in. Faith, again, going hand in hand with the belief. It's having faith either A, in yourself or in whatever it is you believe in. Trust, and trust is a big one, and it's learning to trust. It's learning to trust the process of recovery. It's learning to trust yourself, trust other people, trust your family, learning to be trustworthy as well. And it's not a resignation, so it's not that you're putting your hands up and saying, I'm up, that only reinforces a lack. So if you're focusing in the negative, you're just going to reinforce the negative. So if you feel you're being deprived, you're going to continue to feel you're being deprived. So it's not about saying, oh, well, I begrudgingly let this go. It's being willing and open to say, well, look, this is not working in my life and I need to change. So what are emotions? Well, emotions are energy in motion, as it says. They're fluid. Like everything, if you believe in the law of attraction, you'll know that everything is energy, no matter what it is. This computer is energy, the table's energy, the light's energy, everything. I'm energy, my thoughts are energy. So emotions are just energy in motion. So, when we have an emotion, the feeling that we get is actually the build-up or the energy that builds up inside of us. Self-belief, or where we feel about the world and our place in it. And again, that's what our emotions are, so how we see ourselves, how we believe in ourselves in and around the world. They're mostly negative in addiction due to constant negative experiences and familiarity. So most people in addiction will have a negative outlook or negative emotions, or tune into more negativity. And as I say, fear is the biggest emotion in addiction, and it's the prime emotion. So lots of other emotions are spin-offs to that. So a lot of it is fear-based. However, fear can be replaced by love. So if you can turn fear over to love, love is a stronger, is a higher vibrational emotion than fear. So if you can be in a place of love and be loving, then you will defeat your fear. Resistance. So again, as we become more consciously aware in our recovery of, I suppose, the feelings we have, our negative feelings, our ego is going to start to tell us, whoa, where are you going here? The subconscious part is going to say, where are you going? You're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be changing. Changing is scary. Don't go down that road. Don't change. Stay where you are. Stay in your bubble. Stay in your comfort zone. So the ego will be telling us differently to what we need to be doing. And that is the resistance that we're always going to find in recovery. The egoic part of ourselves, which, although for most of us, the reason why we want to change our lives would become hell, is still very much a part of it doesn't like change, and it'll hang on to it for as long as it can. So we have to go through the ego. So the opposite of negative is positive. I suppose it's yin and yang, and either way around, if you're focusing on the positive, it'll replace the negative. So rather than combating the negative and keep analyzing negative things about you, just switch off the negativity if you can and focus mainly on the positivity. You'll find the negativity will disappear. 5-second rule. So when you feel a craving coming on, okay, when you're thinking about drinking or using it, it pops into your head out of the blue, or it's building up over a period of time. When you're feeling stressed or negative, because a lot of times it's the emotion behind it again, the energy which drives the thought, drives the feeling, drives the craving. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you can see, it's Mel Robbins. And then just let it go. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go of the craving, thought, and the feeling. You will find it will dissipate. It takes 5 seconds for your brain to engage and to act on something that pops in. So the quicker you jump in and the quicker you undermine your mind, you can knock that thought or feeling out and distract yourself and move to another thought or feeling, rather than it progressing and getting progressively worse the more you focus on the likes of a craving or a thought. And do this as many times as you need to. This is not just a once off and then that's it. If you have to do it 100 times in an hour, do it 100 times in an hour. And it just depends where you're at, how you're feeling, what's going on for you. Because it will save you, it will help you. And then self-defeating to self-enhancement. So letting go of a negative feeling and emotion, you have to accept it first and not resist it. So, sorry, you have to find the feeling inside of you. Accept it. Don't say, "Oh, here comes that feeling again," and try and run away or try and deny it or ignore it. Let the feeling come up, no matter what it is. Especially if it's a negative feeling, because the idea is you want to work through it. So feel the feeling inside of you. I use an example here, guilt. Guilt is a big feeling, and normally you can feel that in your solar plexus or your gut. You feel it like a knot. I don't know if you've experienced that yourself. Anxiety is the same, you feel like a knot inside of you. Notice that knot. Notice it as a physical sensation inside of you. Okay? So just feel it until you notice the physical part of it. Try and let go of the thought, the negative thought. I know it takes practice, but just try and let go of the thought. And follow the feeling inside of you. Where does it go? You might find it moves around inside your gut. Mainly inside your gut. You might move to other parts of the body. Just depends. But it's mainly internally in your abdomen and that kind of area. Thank it for being there, because it's telling you, it's telling you that I'm here, deal with me. Most negative emotions are there for a reason. They're there as a warning sign to tell us to shift our asses, to change, to do something different, because this is what's going on. So they're there as a warning sign for us to move, to change. So thank it for being there. Let it go, and some people even, they keep working on this process, but let it go by breaking wind or burping. It's happened, but that's okay. Whatever works for you. You can do a big out breath. It's normally the best thing is just taking a deep breath and then a big out breath and just release it. Release the feeling, release the physical sensation. And repeat this and keep repeating this until you find, maybe your guilt starts to dissipate. You don't feel as guilty, or you're not focusing on the guilt as much. You know, it can be as simple as that. It's a simple exercise. It's not difficult. Just keep doing it over and over and over again. Right, embracing the positive and letting go of the negative. So if you continue to let go of the feelings and emotions, you know, your inner mantra will change from like saying, I can't, I won't, to, you know, I can and I will. So your perception will shift. And then as your negative emotion is let go, you know, so will the negative thoughts around that emotion, they'll start to dissipate. You know, thoughts, emotions, sensations, behaviors, they all work in a cycle and they go round and round and round. So one kind of affects the next as it goes round. Emotions being powerful, once the emotion goes away, the thoughts attached to that emotion will also dissipate and go down. I'm not saying you're not going to have those thoughts again, but when they do come back, there won't be as strong an emotional attachment. So if your feelings of guilt have gone or are lessened, the thoughts of guilt will be lessened. And when you do have a guilty thought, it won't attach to that feeling because it won't be as, I suppose, as strong. Mentally, you'll be more aware, so your mental awareness will grow. Spiritually, be more loving, so be more open, more receptive to other people, more unconditional. And physically, you will feel a hell of a lot more energized. You'll feel better in yourself. You'll have energy. You'll be motivated to do things. So just to sum up there, so letting go in recovery is essential if you want a contented life, and that's the steps 2, 3, 11, and 12. If you want to go over those, I have lectures on the steps. Letting go is a simple process, but you have to keep working on your conscious awareness for it to work for you. So you have to keep it in your head as much as you can. You're not going to remember it all the time, but the more you do it, the more it'll become a habit or a routine, and the easier it'll get. And again, don't listen to the ego or the small self, because that'll tell you it's not working. And the ego will jump in straight away, especially doing that exercise where you're letting go of your emotion. It'll be saying, what's this gobbledygook, this mumbo jumbo that you're doing? This is a lot of rubbish, you know? This is all holistic crap. And your ego will tell you that. You know, the small voice will say, stop wasting your time, stop being an idiot, and stop doing this. You have to push through that. You have to just push the ego aside, tell the ego to shut up and go away, and just keep working, you know, through your inner self, through your emotional self, because this does work. You just can't let the ego interfere. So letting your divinity, your bigger self, shine through, and that's what's important. You know, you're coming from the heart, not from the head. So you just have to let it happen, have to let it work. Knowing how is not important. You know, is it scientific? Can be proven? Is there evidence? Doesn't matter. Just do it. And again, as I say, practice, practice, and practice more. And you have to just keep practicing. It's like anything in life. The more you practice, the easier it becomes, the better you get. And the more you do it, you know, habits are formed over time and practice. It's not just going to land on your lap and changes. You won't notice changes straight away. It will take time. You know, just be consistent and keep doing it.